What's up, design family, and welcome to another episode of FittDesign TV. On today's episode, we'll be looking at fleece. What is it, how is it made, and how is it used, specifically within the sportswear industry. If you guys have ever wondered about fleece, watch this video for the definitive go-to concise guide on the topic. Hey guys, and welcome to FittDesign TV. So glad to have you here. On this channel, we discuss all things sports fashion, graphic design, manufacturing, and technology. We'll discuss key topics, answer pressing questions, and provide actionable steps on starting your own product line. If you're interested in any of the above topics, stick around. You're in for a good one. Contrary to popular belief, the fleece that we know and love is not based on wool, which we get from sheep. It carries a lot of those physical characteristics, which is why we call it fleece, but chances are your favorite hoodie is not made out of 100% wool. It's made out of polyester, which is a plastic. So the fleece that we know is man-made. It's based on plastic at its core because plastic is what's used to make polyester. And most fleeces are a physical, mechanical alteration of traditional polyester fabric. Of course, you can introduce other types of fibers like wool, spandex, rayon into the polyester and still have a fleece physical finish, but at its core, polyester sits as the foundation of most fleece fabrics. So how is fleece made? We've already established that fleece is based off a polyester textile. Polyester is sourced from plastics at its core. These plastics are used to create the fibers, which are then spun into the yarns that are then knitted or woven into the polyester fabrics. Once we have the finished polyester fabric, now we have to create the mechanical or physical alteration that creates the physical touch and feel of fleece. If you've ever felt your favorite hoodie, you know that fleece has this very brushed, soft, and sort of voluminous feel to it. So how do we achieve that feel? Well, it's simple. You take the polyester fabric and they pass it through a machine called the napper. The napper runs pretty much these brushes or these rakes along the entire surface of the fabric, and that agitates the surface of the fabric, causing a piling effect. A piling effect is where the fibers that create or that kind of knit or that weave into the fabric are dislodged from their structure and they rise to the surface of the fabric and they sort of roll up, creating this fuzzy effect that we attribute with fleece. But it's not done here. Once we have this piled fabric, it's then passed through another machine which runs blades along the surface to cut these piled fibers down to size in order to create precisely the type of fleece and finish that we want, right? Because we know that fleece comes in a variety of different finishes, shapes, textures. So depending on a certain manufacturing application and the design, you'll need to accurately curate how that fleece looks. So we have a lot of control over our fleece versus traditional fleece that we get from wool, which has a lot more of a limitation attached to it. So we have the physical look and feel, but how does it alter the shape or the physical properties of traditional polyester? What are the benefits of fleece? I'm sure you guys know that it's quite warm. Why is it warm? Well, it's simple. It has to do with physics. Because of the shape that is created by these piled fibers rising and rolling to the surface of the fabric, you create added volume to the textile. This added volume of the piled fibers allows for the trapping of air pockets between these microfibers that ultimately creates an insulatory or an insulation effect to the fabric. That's why we see a lot of fleeces being used in outerwear garments where the trapping of heat is absolutely necessary. You'll also notice that this mechanical brushing also adds to the durability of the fabric because it's almost been pre-piled. It's been treated in a way and set using heat in order to maintain the structure and the overall shape of these piled fibers. What do these piled fibers also allow the fabric to do? Well, they actually allow it to wick moisture away from the surface of the skin. Why is that? Because of the pile fibers, this really allows the movement of moisture from one surface of the fabric to the other and ultimately allow it to evaporate. This evaporation creates somewhat of a cooling effect, and it also prevents the buildup of moisture or, in physical activities, sweat from the surface of the textile. As we know, sweat can cause bad smells, and ultimately we have anti-odor properties with fleece because of that physical movement of moisture away from the surface of the skin. At the same time, because fleece is man-made, it's also a lot more cost-effective than traditional fleece that we get from wool, right? We have a limited number of sheep, but we can use economies of scale and the power of modern manufacturing to scale up our production of man-made fleeces that are essentially based on plastics. And if you want to be more conscious towards the environment, you can also use plastics that are sourced from sustainable resources or recycling efforts from landfills and from oceans to create the plastics that are necessary to create your fleece. So you can actually have fleece that's based on 100% recycled polyester, which is a major plus. So we've discussed the actual physical properties of fleece. How does that lend itself for use in the garment industry? Where is fleece used? Well, it's pretty much used everywhere, right? And again, if you picked up your favorite hoodie or your favorite pair of joggers, chances are you've come across great fleece fabrics, and you can kind of see how they perform. So in the sportswear industry, we see most fleece fabrics being used on outerwear items like hoodies, jackets, and joggers because of their ability to retain heat, and also they have a comfort level, right? Because fleece is also a tangible thing. We can feel the softness of fleece when we touch alongside the surface of fleece. It also adds to the enjoyment or the overall comfort level of the wearer. It's also able to wick sweat away, adding to its anti-odor properties and sweat wicking capabilities, which can also, in a weird twist of fate, help to cool down the wearer as well as also adding to the warmth retention. As we mentioned as well, because of its physical properties and because of the way it's made, the pile fibers are already heat set in, which helps to maintain the integrity and the durability of this fabric long term. So we'll typically notice that fleece fabrics are actually more durable than non-fleeced or French terry or interlock fabrics, especially in the long term because they've been produced in this specific way. They're also very cost efficient, and at the same time, they lend themselves to a wide variety of uses. In terms of its relationship to traditional wool, we also notice that fleece fabrics tend to be more heat insulating and lighter when compared on a gram per gram comparison between traditional wool and man-made fleece. So you'll notice that it's also a lot more performant than traditional fleece. You're not losing anything. You're saving money, you're saving weight, and you're adding more functionality by going for man-made synthetic fleece. You can also get a variety of different textures from different patterns to different levels of fleece. You can get something that is as deep as micro brush fleece, which adds to the silky smoothness and the overall comfort, and it also adds to the functionality. As you begin to increase the surface area, the more and more you create the brushed effect on the fleece texture. That's pretty much it, guys, for fleece in a nutshell. It's a pretty simple topic that I wanted to share. I myself have always been interested in what fleece really is, but at the same time, I'm sure you guys are all surprised to know that it's actually based on plastic. So man-made fleece is plastic, and it's a great alternative to what we think of as traditional wool fleece. If you guys enjoyed this video, please consider smashing a massive thumbs up. If you want to see more videos like this, let us know what topics you want to see next. If you guys enjoy this type of content, please consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to FittDesign TV. Until next time, stay awesome.